We've been working up master plan proposals for the Swan Centre to revitalise it as a catalyst to improve the vitality of the high street. The mix of uses we propose will diversify away from pure retail to include leisure, such as a cinema, a hotel, more bars and restaurants, and residential and office spaces. So the programme that's at the Leatherhead Theatre is very drama-led, and that means that people can't always watch the latest films when they want to watch them, and as a result we'll travel to other towns outside Mole Valley.
Can you explain why you think that there's a demand for a cinema then?
Public feedback that we've had so far has indicated that what people really want in Leatherhead is a branded cinema showing current films, and if they do that they'll come into town, they'll spend time going to bars and restaurants, and it will really contribute to that nighttime economy, the vitality of the high street, and indeed it's part of the work we've done with the Swan Centre master plan.
And it doesn't conflict with what the theatre is offering because they focus on drama and dance, and so they can complement each other rather than anything else.
And actually you start to get almost a clustering, so it becomes a destination, it becomes where people want to go. They know they can go to Leatherhead to go to the theatre, to go to the cinema, to go to a really nice restaurant, etc., etc. And it just gets that critical mass and vibrancy that we need, that you're not now getting by retail alone.
So a question that comes up quite often is what can be done to retain Leatherhead's theatre and how can it be supported?
Okay, so it is a tricky question because Mole Valley District Council doesn't own the theatre, it's privately owned, and so in that respect we don't fund it and it has to fund itself. But we do try to help it by signposting it to sources of funding, as well as doing the improvements that we've done within the Leatherhead sort of town centre, so improvements of public realm, making sure that people know how to get to it, that the signage is all clear. But ultimately, you know, the theatre is there for residents to use, and you know, and you need to go and book and attend the shows that they're putting on. So you know, that's what we really need to get the message out there.
Yeah, they have a really good varied programme, don't they? I follow them on social media and see they're regularly posting up their programmes. So I think follow them on social media.
Yeah. Can I do a plug for something? So the Freewheelers from North Leatherhead are doing a show. They've invited me along and I'm looking forward to it. So, you know, let's support local community sort of groups who are using the theatre, which is what we need.
Looking forward to the Rotary Royal Philharmonic Orchestra as well in May. I went last year and it was packed. It was a sellout. It was fantastic.
And it's a great cause as well. Yeah.
So the Swan Centre, we've got a long-term vision master plan that we've been working on, and then also some short-term works.
You want to touch on the short-term works to start with?
Yep, so some of the short-term works we've done relate to improvements to the car park that we've already completed. People said they wanted to be able to pay as they leave. So we have been trialling a machine at Church Street in the car park there, and that has that functionality for contactless and that you can pay when you leave. And the plan is that we roll those out into the Swan Centre very soon.
And I think I saw that there's an intention to try to get the park mark scheme, is that right?
That's right, that's aspiration. So we've got some further improvements we would need to achieve in order to obtain that accreditation, but it's about making the car park safer and more user-friendly, you know, at day and night, effectively.
And some of the questions that also came up were about improving the sort of the public areas and what could be done to make that nicer. Can you give us some ideas?
So Ali, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we spent quite a lot of time and energy improving the lighting within the Swan Centre car park itself. And I think we're looking at trying to improve the overall lighting within the Swan Centre just to make it feel more friendly to people using it day and the evening as well.
And things like better wayfinding signage around, you know, so it's more, it ties in with the new logo, the Swan Centre logo. It's more visible from Lorette Way, visible from the high street, and clearer once you get into the centre and where things are.
And obviously there's been a big question mark over what was going to happen to the high street. We obviously carried out consultations on that and put a proposal to the Surrey County Council local committee. At the moment they've rejected those proposals, and we're going to have to go and have another look at what can be done there.
So we've touched on the short-term improvements we've been working on. Ali, do you want to talk us through the longer-term vision for the Swan Centre?
So the vision for the Swan Centre in the long term is to bring a greater mix of uses that will really contribute to the vitality of the high street.
And is that responding to all the changes that are happening in the high street, which are talked about so much nationally and on BBC
and move
Panorama?
to a more experiential retail, making it a local destination.
So we're not looking to attract in the likes of Primark or the big national brands anymore, is that right?
No, those sorts of brands now, they're really cutting back on the number of stores they're having, so they're really focusing on the prime towns. So that what that means for Leatherhead is that those stores will be in the places like Woking, Kingston, London, Bluewater, and that's where people travel for that kind of shop. Actually, what we want for Leatherhead is to cater for the everyday shop, but also bring in that leisure so that you start to get those repeat visits and more reasons to go than just to buy.
And some of the independent bespoke shops as well, so that we've got sort of other sorts of different offers there as well. So.
Where you get that sort of local touch,
yes,
local service.
exactly.
The beauty actually of the master plan is that rather than just putting the great big change shops as perhaps might have been assumed 5 years ago when we were at the master plan stage, the idea now is actually to respond to the changes in the market. The feedback that we've had from our consultants is that we should be, rather than creating bigger units that are very formulaic, every town becomes the same, we should be creating smaller units. That has two benefits. One is that you have smaller units that are more affordable and independent occupiers can afford to be there. The other is that actually you create bigger open spaces. So you can start to bring in green spaces, space for events, for pop-ups, for markets and all those things actually just get people interested. People want to come, they want something that's authentic.
And a bit different to every other town. Yeah. So Moore Valley has an economic prosperity strategy that was approved about 2 years ago now, and we've been working really hard recently to try and put together a package of measures. So they range from digital skills training, which is happening right now. We have courses running in February which are fully booked, but we've got some spaces still in March. We're also going to be launching a retail skills training programme, so really aimed at independents who don't have the backing of the big national brands behind them, and that could be touching on merchandising, promotions, customer service, all the things that we perhaps take for granted. There are programmes for non-retailers as well. So Business Hot House is a University of Chichester delivered programme to support SMEs, so people looking to start up their own business, so people been in business for a little while and looking to expand, and we're hoping to launch that officially later in 2020. And we're also starting a new series of monthly networking lunches, so they'll be here at Pitbrook, but there'll be a range of different guest speakers each month, and the first one's already fully booked, so hopefully it'll be popular and well received. But I suppose the other thing I want to say is not just about what Moore Valley can offer. There are lots of other organisations out there, ranging from Coast to Capital to Surrey Chambers, our own Leatherhead District Chamber of Trade. They all offer different avenues of support and advice to people wanting to run a business in Moore Valley. So please explore the opportunities that are out there.